debt collector can't take your car and they don't have the same power as bailiffs. But if the debt collectors file for a CCJ and you still don't pay, there's a possibility you could lose your car. The way to simplify this is that a debt collector's job is to persuade you to pay back your debts. Bailiffs or enforcement officers, to call them by the proper name, can seize your assets to pay back your debts, like your car. It's when the court gets involved that your situation could change. A CCJ stands for a county court judgment, and if you've been chased by debt collectors for a while, refused to pay money back and ignored any correspondence, and they could apply to the court for a CCJ. This orders you to pay by law, and if you decide to ignore the CCJ, bailiffs get involved. When bailiffs visit you for the first time, they'll make an inventory of goods that they intend to take if you don't pay your debt. But even if this does happen, they still might not be able to take your car. If the car isn't yours for them to take, so for example, if you lease a car, bailiffs can't take it away. There are some other hacks as well if the car does belong to you outright. When you get the letter announcing the bailiff's arrival, you can move your car to private land. If you know someone with a garage, you could leave it there. Just make sure that it isn't outside your house or on a public road. If they do find it and clamp it, do not remove it. It's illegal, and that's the last thing you need. The best thing to do is to make sure that it doesn't get this far. Communicate with your debt collectors and see if you can come to some sort of an affordable arrangement. If you're making an effort to try and pay them back, they should hopefully leave you alone. If you're looking at your finances and you don't know how you're going to pay them back, have you looked at any debt solutions that might be available to you? The best thing to do is to educate yourself to see if any might be suitable for you. I'll quickly run through some for you now to give you a rough idea. There are pros and cons to all of them, and that's why you've got to be aware of how they work. So debt management plans, they're an informal agreement that you make with your creditors to pay back your debts at a lower and more affordable rate. Normally that means paying less each month, but over a longer time frame. Debt relief orders freeze your debt payments for a full year, and then if your situation hasn't changed after 12 months, the debt's written off. They have a strict eligibility criteria though. Another option is offering a final settlement. If you happen to have access to a large lump sum, you can offer that to the debt collectors or the creditors they work for. It might not be for the full amount you owe, but sometimes they'll be willing to write off the remaining debt because you'll be saving them the time chasing you down for payments each month. Individual voluntary arrangements are another way to deal with debt. It's a formal agreement between you and your creditors to reduce your payments to one simple payment each month. It lasts for 5 years, and then at the end, any remaining debt's written off. IVAs are legally binding, so you've got to keep up with your payments. With bankruptcy, all your assets are reviewed and some may be sold off to pay back your debt. After a year, any remaining debt will be written off. Like with an IVA during your year of bankruptcy, you shouldn't hear from your debt collectors. Some of your belongings may be sold though to pay for your debt, and your credit score will become very low. If you want to look into your options in more depth, I've linked to a form on my new website below the video, and it's got a few multiple choice questions like how much debt do you owe and how many people do you owe. At the end of the form, it'll connect you to a company that I've partnered with to give you all the information that you need about debt solutions that are available. So click the link below the video, go and check it out and let me know how you get on.